Welcome in. Let's check out some records. Yeah, I've been on a bit of a tear. The addiction has kind of reached the mania stage. The consumption is insatiable, but I've been coming into just beautiful, flawless, mint condition vintage records that I'm going to share a few with you here. Yeah, just seams of gold. So, sometimes you strike out. I shop in the wild almost exclusively. So I'm out there, and if you're out there digging, sometimes you can get let down. And it's a disappointing feeling leaving the store with nothing. But I've just been getting into it. Anyway, let's start. Before I start though, I do want to make a correction from my last video where I did say when I was comparing the Musical Heritage Society with the Argo, the Neville Mariner. I did not realize at the time, it was brought up by an excellent viewer, that actually what I was comparing to was not an original Argo pressing, but rather a Dutch pressing, which would be late 70s, early 80s when Decca moved their pressing to the Netherlands. So was it a fair comparison? So a lot of people don't really like the Dutch pressings as much, and I could see why. There doesn't seem to be as much bass in them, although I find them to be on very clean vinyl and also very clear and articulate. So I don't shy away from the Dutch pressings personally, but I can see why, that's some people, they're not really feeling them as much. So that comparison, I bet if I compared an original Argo with the Musical Heritage Society, maybe the original would actually sound noticeably better. And here's an example of an original Argo, Neville Mariner, Dvorak Serenade for Strings, and Grieg Holberg Suite. Academy of St. Martin in the Fields. This is like a 1971 pressing, or 1970, I believe. And that you see a larger oval here with the Argo logo in it. So that would be a more original. And these are really good. And this one's great. This is a really good one. Very clean, very immediate. You can kind of feel the depth of the whole orchestra, and you can really get a sense of it. Like, it feels live. It's very, very nice, very excellent. So yeah, especially the Dvorak, really good. And bold. Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, fearless. Look at them. They're just leaning on this rickety, old. It's just, there's not even support beams. It's just like a 12-inch beam going from one rickety post to another rickety post. And they're like, yep, I'm just going to lean on that. Look at them up there. They don't care. Anyway, great record. I've had this one for a while. These are the new ones that I got, though. I got this whole set. Well, I bought two, and then I had to go back because they sound so good. The Beethoven Piano Concertos with Alfred Brendel and Bernard Haitink, London. Whoa. Very, very good. Just the balance. There's an immediacy to it, and there's a subtlety. And sometimes Philips can have a little bit of a harshness to the edge, or a little bit bright in sort of the upper mids, but they're just delicious to listen to. It's so relaxing. Alfred Brendel, he's great. And some people say he's a little bit boring. I could kind of agree. In some places, he's really good in the slow parts, but some of the fast ones are like the fast moments. It seems like he's not quite as articulate as like Richter or maybe Horowitz or Claudio Arrau, something like that. But either way, he's great. Funny thing though, got the set, went back, had to go back, and luckily they were all still there. Went back the next day, and these are all Dutch pressing, so the classic red label that says Made in Holland, except number 5 was a little bit strange. Number 5 just says nothing at all. It doesn't say anything on it. And on the back it says printed in Netherlands, but there's no source of origin on the actual disc. And I thought maybe I'm being biased, but I kept listening to it against the other discs, and there was a little something missing. I don't know what's up with that. It's a 1976, so I don't know if maybe they outsourced or something's weird about that, because it almost always says Made in Holland. This one doesn't, and all the other ones are really good. 2 has that little bit of that bright feeling to it, a little bit of that crunch that Philips sometimes has. The other ones are so smooth, so beautiful. All the covers too, like, oh, I don't know. Like, can you imagine the art team? They have it on an easel and it's covered, it's draped in like silk, and then they pull it off and they're like, we're thinking of this. And another reason why I just love this set so much, and I had to get the other three, was the stereo spread. It's very wide, but it's very pleasing and natural. Like sometimes when you hear things that are panned too far or too to the left or right, and it kind of takes you out of the moment. Like it's just too much and it feels false, sort of a false feeling to it. With London here and Hating, it sounds very natural. You feel like you're close to the orchestra, but in a natural way. And with the Beethoven piano concertos, especially the first movement, the orchestra is playing for like almost like 3 minutes sometimes, and you're kind of just begging for the piano to come in. And when it does come in, it just sounds so right. It's in the middle and it's just balanced perfectly with the orchestra. So that's, it's really special, really good. Oh, this one. What an incredible find. So happy to find this. This is Gustav Leonhardt with Festive Concert de Baroque. It's sort of like a mixtape of his very early stereo stuff on Telefunken, and it's got the Das Alt work, which would mean it's on period. It's like period performance with period instruments, but really early stuff that he did, like so late 50s, early 60s. It's a mix. It's got Johann Sebastian Bach and CPE Bach, and also Henry Purcell, and it's mostly with the Leonard concert. So his kind of team of period players, and oh wow, it's really good. It's on this black label, the black and gold Telefunken label. Very hard to find these ones in such good shape, because they're like, I'm pretty sure this was like made on tube gear, and which kind of balances out the brittleness of the period instruments. It's just, how would I describe it? Like the mid-tone force just pushes forward onto you in such a balanced way. It is a little bass shy, as are almost all Telefunken that I find. I find they need a bass crank, so it's kind of like I need to run it on the system that I have an EQ on, which is kind of a shame, but it's something special. Really, these very early Telefunkens on the black, I'd say you got to listen to one if you can find one in good condition, because I've found quite a few that are kind of scratched up and just kind of mishandled. Especially the triple concert A-moll on side 1 here. It's articulate, detailed, wonderful reverb to the room they used. I don't think it shows where they recorded. Yeah, and it's on a kind of a unique book. It's got a glossy front, but it's sort of like a magazine style. It's got photos of him and different teams that he's working with. There's Nicholas Harnoncourt and Alice Harnoncourt and some other people I should know. Yeah. Awesome. So happy about this one. Finding it in that shape, that's something different. Here's another one, EMI on EMI Eminent. This is a German pressing. Nathan Milstein, Vivaldi, violin concerto. Really, really excellent. Great sound. And of course the playing. I mean, he's so good. Nathan Milstein. This is on, German pressing, so it's got the yellow around the rim, postage stamp style, but it is German. I'm not sure if the UK pressing would sound better, but this sounds really good. I love it. Just an excellent disc. Yeah, all around. It's just an all-around disc. I can't say anything like that it needs anything at all, or that it could somehow be better in a certain place. It sounds right. It just sounds correct. So this is EMI on their game, doing their thing, and yeah, a wonderful repress from EMI. 2 more Philips. This is Dvorak Quartet in F, the American, and Borodin Quartet in D. So we've got Quartet d'Italiano, and the classic red, made in Holland. Just really good. This is the chamber music series, which, yeah, get them if you see them, if you like chamber music. Really, really good. Just very present sound. It's soft. Like it feels soft. The way they recorded it is wonderful. It's really good. Another one from the chamber music series with Quartet d'Italiano. This is a Debussy Quartet in G and also Ravel Quartet in F. It's actually even better than the previous one with the Dvorak. It's just unreal sound. It's so immediate, so detailed, but sweet sounding. The vinyl itself is just incredibly quiet. You can't, even with headphones, you can't hear anything before the music starts playing, or there's nothing there. No pops, no clicks. You'd say, well, it sounds like this, but it sounds so much better than a CD would sound. It's everything. If you see this one, just incredibly recommendable. It's so good in every way. The performance too, it's great. This one. Here's another EMI. This is a concert classic, Fauré, with Daniel Barenboim, Sheila Armstrong, Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Really an interesting performance. Definitely different phrasing than I'm used to, but it works. The more I'm listening, the more I like it. It's quite good, quite good. It's on a UK pressing, and this is on this style with the big nipper, half nipper. Very, very nice. Excellent sound. The vocals come through really nicely too. And Barenboim, yeah, he was doing it right. That's the Edinburgh Festival Chorus and Orchestra de Paris. Very excellent. And also, yeah, I'm just putting them here. I don't usually store my records like this. It feels weird. I know people do that. That's fine, but it feels odd when it's out like this. I'm just doing this for the sake of just getting through them quicker without me suffering through pulling them out and all that. But yeah, so it's so this is an EMI, that you get in North America that says the direct European import. That's a good sign. So it's not on Angel. I'm sure this is probably also pressed on Angel as well, which I'm quite sure would not sound half as good as this. So awesome, really good. Okay, and the last one here, Raphael Furbeck de Burgos, Stravinsky, The Rite of Spring and Prokofiev, the Classical Symphony. So this is with the New Philharmonia Orchestra. So it's a 1967 recording, which would be just a normal, EMI pressing. But, on this side, we get the Odeon sticker that would probably be covering up the nipper. And the same with on the disc itself. You got the gold covering the where the nipper would be. So that's probably for copyright issues because RCA was using the nipper. So it's wonderful to get a full-on EMI, and it sounds really great. I do feel like the bass is rolled off in the very low part. Like there's enough bass in it, but I do feel like they kind of just rolled that off a bit. A trifle bit bright, but it holds together in the big moments, which of course there's lots of in The Rite of Spring, and even Prokofiev is pretty lively, and it handles it no problem. Very detailed, excellent sound, and a really great air to the whole disc. Like it feels like you're there. Really fantastic. And I'll say I sort of relate Furbeck de Burgos more with Spanish music, which is just a master at. And I don't know if this is my favorite performance of Stravinsky, Rite of Spring. The Prokofiev, I haven't heard Classical Symphony enough times from different conductors to make a judgment there, but I don't think it's his strongest disc that he's made, but still really great, really great. Anyway, that's it. That's all you get. Thank you for watching. I'll continue with this with another video. Thanks.